Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be reviewing Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. This movie features Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, Paul Freeman, Ronald Lacey, John Rye Davis, Denholm Elliott, Alfred Molina, Wolf Kaler, and Anthony Higgins. So yeah, as usual, before I actually start my review, um, before I start my review, spoiler warnings as usual. For those who haven't seen the movie for whatever reason, I recommend you do watch a movie and then come back and watch this review because it may spoil something. Who knows? So yeah, 10-second spoiler warning starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. Yeah, 10 seconds are up. So for those who still haven't watched this movie for whatever reason and are still watching this video, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never gave you a fair warning, because as usual, I did. So yeah, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, what I think of it, as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. Basically, you have Indiana Jones here in his first appearance, played by Harrison Ford again. And he's basically this archaeologist, sorry, um, or like a part-time archaeologist, who's also a teacher, which I assume he teaches archaeology or something like that. But besides the point, basically Indiana Jones, he is hired by the U.S. government in order to find where the Ark of the Covenant is. At the same time, he has to go up against one of his more well-known, better-known opponents, um, which I believe is Dr. Rene Bolek, Belloc, something like that. I may be wrong, because I remember him having a strange name, but don't quote me on that. I just remember him having a strange name. Basically, him and his opponent are trying to find the Ark of the Covenant. His opponent, just finding it just to cash in. While Indy, he's trying to help the government in whatever way he can. Eventually, they do find the Ark of the Covenant to an extent, and I'm gonna leave it at that. So yeah, this movie, it's pretty good in my opinion. Yeah, it's pretty good. You do have some iconic scenes which I have seen before, such as the rock scene. I mean, not the rock scene, the boulder scene. With where he switches the this golden statue with a bag of sand or something like that, and the stone comes rolling from nowhere. That is a pretty iconic scene. I didn't know. I didn't even know it was in this movie. I thought it was like in the next one, but I'm glad to see it was in this movie. So you've got to love your iconic scenes. The acting was well done for the most part. I do feel that there's a few times every here and there where some of the characters were either over, well, for the most part, overacting. That was very minimal for the most part though. Maybe maybe twice per actor. I'd have to say they did this. So yeah, well, very minimal on that, but for the most part, the acting was well done. The writing, was also well done. It's decent. I think it could have been a bit better, but for what we got, it's always good. And I did enjoy it. Um, yeah, the overall plot is interesting. Having the Ark of the Covenant there. I believe that's a religious thing, the Ark of the Covenant, or Egyptian or something like that. I'm not completely sure. I know I've heard the actual Ark of the Covenant in other places, but it is kind of interesting to see how that you can have a plot like this revolve around this Ark of the Covenant, um the Ark of the Covenant. There were a few action scenes over here and there which were surprisingly well done. The reason I say surprisingly is because I actually didn't. I knew there was gonna be action, but I thought it was gonna be like, for whatever reason, I thought it was gonna be all over the place. I don't know why, but for me, it surprised me that was actually as well done as it is. because honestly I thought it was gonna be like all over the place, maybe sloppy, something like that. But surprisingly, it did surprise me when it came to action. It was well done. Um, and a few of the action scenes were actually pretty funny. Yeah. Um, you do have a bit of character development with Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood, who is his love interest for this movie. I don't know if she continues for the rest of the franchise, but for this movie, she is love interest. That is pretty interesting to see. I guess you always have to have a love interest in the mix. I thought honestly the love interest could have been cut out, but it could have gone either way. It really doesn't bother me. So yeah, really, there's only really one major complaint I really do have with this, and that's for the first 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, I couldn't get into the movie. It wasn't until right around, I want to say, when we first see Indiana Jones in his classroom, talking to these other men, um, you know, talking about that he's gonna get the Ark of the Covenant or something like that. That's when I started getting into the movie, but that was about 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes into the movie. So for I mean, most people has most for whatever reason, for most people they're hooked almost instantly. For me, it took me a while to get hooked, and really that's my major complaint for this movie. I mean, everything else is done the way it should be, for the most part. And overall, I actually did enjoy this movie, a bit more than I actually expected to enjoy it. So yeah, on a rating from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'd have to give this an 8 out of 10. I mean, really, the only real thing that bothers me is that the first 15 to 20 minutes I couldn't get into the movie, but overall, everything else is just like nitpicking or whatever. But overall, this movie did surprise me a bit. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it this much because actually, this is the first time I've actually seen this movie. To be completely honest with you guys, I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it that much. I mean, I knew I was gonna enjoy it, but as much as I enjoyed it, I didn't expect it. So that did surprise me. Overall, it's still a pretty good movie, a pretty great movie. I'm gonna see if I could get the other 3 movies. I mean, yeah, the original trilogy plus that the kind of weird reboot they did back in 2004. Because I like collecting the franchises, and the 2004 film is in the franchise, so I guess I have to get it as well. Yeah, but that's besides the point. That's more in the future, so forget that. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. 8 out of 10 is what I give Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, comic book reviews, and TV show reviews, so definitely stay tuned for those. Besides that, comment down below on your thoughts on Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Have you watched it, and did you like it, did you hate it? What are your thoughts on it, and what are your thoughts on Indiana Jones as a character overall? Comment all that down below. And besides that, like this video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.